in 11:02. That's right now. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar. The topic today is data monetization, as promised, and we do that through the power of Salesforce. Now, the goal is to trigger all of you into finding new revenue streams for your company by using your data in a different way, and it's about your own data. There is a question section. I hope you can find it. There is a question section. If you have questions, please ask them. Put them in the question section. We will afterwards, you can flip to the next slide, Hendrik. We will afterwards go through the questions at the end of the presentation of the webinar. This webinar is presented by Hendrik van Brantegem and myself, Hans Christian Koch. Let's first share some backgrounds on the both of us. Hendrik, you can kick it.
Thank you, Hans. So yeah, I'm your co-host today. I'm Hendrik van Brantegem. I'm a solution engineer at Salesforce, and I have the awesome job to explain to prospects and customers what our solutions are all about. So mainly I need to check what are their pain points and how we can help them, and which solution is the best fit for their problems. And today I will show a small demo on how we can monetize data using all the capabilities of Salesforce.
Yep. And I'm Hans Christian Koch. I'm managing partner of Biztory Belgium and Luxembourg. And what is Biztory? Well, we are a system integrator that focuses on the modern data stack. And by modern data stack, we mean the full cycle of collecting data, transforming data, analyzing data, and afterwards visualizing data. And that is always the end goal. So the end goal of us is to help people in making the right decisions based on clear data insights and not on a hunch. Biztory started in Belgium, but it has 4 subsidiaries in 4 countries. That's Netherlands, Germany, UK, and Belgium in the end, obviously also. We are a member of the Spire Group, and the Spire Group, that is a consortium that covers the full Salesforce multi-cloud. So as Salesforce calls it, the customer 360. That helps us supporting customers with complex Salesforce multi-cloud projects. And maybe cool to know also, the Spire Group received the most recent Salesforce Partner of the Year award this year, so we must be doing something right. In brief, what do we do? Biztory focuses on supporting customers with the full data cycle, and through Spire, we support the data side of Salesforce multi-cloud projects. And that's us. The forward-looking statement. I think this is the slide I've seen the most in my life with any presentation with a bit of Salesforce in it. What does it mean? Well, in brief, it just says that Salesforce is a publicly traded company, so please make your purchasing decisions based on products and features that are currently available. That's a very brief overview.
Good overview.
You can go to the next one. The agenda for today. So firstly, we will remind you all about the changing world we're in and the need that brings to do war with data. We will then take a look also at data monetization and how it can unlock enormous opportunities for every single company, also yours. And then we will bring this all to life with a customer story and a live demo. So we are in a new world, and obviously we are in a new world every day, but never before it has been, well, there has been so much change in such a brief period. It's a challenging time, and that's something we cannot deny. There's lots of crises. There's a labor crisis, there's an economic crisis, there's a climate crisis. We are still working through the implications of the pandemic, which as a result, one of the results was the supply chain disruptions. So there's a lot going on at this point. And as always, it's not all doom and gloom as depicted on this slide, but we cannot deny that the businesses are being challenged. The result is that a lot of businesses are focusing on cutting costs. And there's a quote on that also. 39% of the CFOs that were polled in May 2022, they said that they were planning on cutting costs in Q4 2022, so the end of last year. And obviously, when they say that, what they do mean is that they are going to, or they are planning on, increasing the profitability of their company by any means possible. And you can do that in two ways. You can do that by indeed cutting costs, or you can do that by increasing your revenue stream. And that is done by finding new revenue models. And that is exactly the focus we will have in this presentation. If we go one slide back still, not a single company can or should start tackling these challenges without having a clear view on the current state of the company, the current state the company is in, and the details that led to that state. And that's where data comes to the rescue. Data, and even more important, the insights you can get out of data. And now we can go to the next one. So, the good news is that data is also opening an incredible amount of new opportunities for the businesses. So every single business has been forced to undergo a digital transformation. And obviously this has been accelerated exponentially by the 2020 crisis when COVID hit. And every digital transformation starts with a data transformation. In order to transform your business, you must know what to tackle first. You must, let's say, measure the temperature of your company first. And as a part of this process, more and more businesses are diving deeper into their own data, and they're starting to understand that their data is unique to them. Every single business, also yours, is generating proprietary data. And these data assets can have a powerful impact on the business itself, on your company, to improve internal processes. But on top of that, that data can also have great impact on your customers, your partners, and your stakeholders. Now, a question I want to ask you, and think of it. I saw somebody in the webinar already that is doing this, but how do you leverage your data assets today? It's a question I want you to keep in your mind, or actually the answer you have on that, keep that in your mind during this webinar. Don't lie to yourself. Not what do you want to do, what are you doing today within the company? Most companies have started investing in data transformation internally already, and they are getting better insights from data to make the company more efficient and to decide what to focus on. And that is good. That's obviously necessary. It's the basis to keep everything running smoothly. But the question is, can't we do more with that data? And that is where data monetization comes into play. You can flip it right to the next one, Hendrik. So data monetization, I've used, it's not a word, it's a combination of words. I used that combination of words now a few times already. Let's make sure that we're all on the same page. What does this mean? Gartner has a definition for it, and they say it is the process of using data to obtain a quantifiable economical benefit. Now, this is a deliberately broad definition, but they also give an example, and they say it is using data externally to add value to your existing products and services. I must say that's also still broad, but we will describe these and other significant benefits in more detail later in this webinar also. Gartner go on to describe that there's a significant opportunity, obviously, that this presents, but that many business leaders are still struggling to realize this opportunity. That's what we also see in the market. The good news is that Biztory and Salesforce have already been helping customers in every single industry to do this for many years now, and we've only just got started. Data monetization, it has been picked up by the early adopters, but we're not even in the hockey stick growth of its potential. There is still a lot of money to be made. A current case, for example, that we're supporting right now is about a company that is looking at a completely new revenue stream that has nothing to do, literally nothing to do with their main business. And they have a potential with that monetizing case, that new revenue stream, that will be bringing in tens of millions of euros each year. It's a completely new business model, and it's based on data that they harvest themselves, but they didn't use up until now. In brief, don't only use data to drive your business right, use it also to drive a completely new business model. And there's two quotes here. I'm just going to read them. More than 50% of commercial organizations will have established initial efforts for formal data monetization by 2026. That is only, I have to say, because time is flying, 3 years from here. Why would you wait until one of your competitors is reaping those benefits? Act faster. And the second quote is more than 1 million of organizations worldwide will monetize their data assets by 2030, unlocking more than 3.6 trillion in value. 3.6 trillion, that is a 36 with 11 zeros. I would love to get my hands on even a small part of that. You can flip to the next one. So, yeah, I can go through all of them. The benefits are clear. It's obvious there is a huge potential out there, and not so many are reaping the benefits at this point. But the main question then arises, what's the next step? What should you think of first? What should you do to start this process? Well, the first step is always, and also here, to think of the strategy or the different strategies, the combination of strategies that you would like to approach. And for data monetization, there are many quantifiable economical benefits that can be driven by data, but at macro level, we see three main themes. There is the theme of the first one, creating a whole new revenue stream for your business. Whether these are completely new digital or data products, or even value-added components to existing products. An example maybe to make it more tangible, let's say that a drywall company, international drywall company, could easily offer their insights about their drywall sales per region with the world. Any international company selling paint or electrical sockets or what have you that comes after a drywall has been placed will be interested in knowing which markets they are currently missing, and they will be willing to invest in that information. A second strategy is improving your operational efficiency. Now, this might be, for example, connecting your entire supply chain, something that can drive massive value at times like these, or improve how you work with a network of partners. An easy to set up example on this one is share the performance of your company in real time with your supply chain partners down the line. Therefore, you're obviously assuring that these partners further in the supply chain are always aware of early or late arrivals without having to notice them manually. That's a very, very easy one. And thirdly, another option, another strategy that you could go after is enhancing your customer relationships. When I say customer, I actually mean customer, partner, stakeholder, doesn't matter. Retain the valuable of your customer partners or stakeholders, or attract new ones, or drive even brand loyalty. By feeding your customer partners or stakeholders the insights on their own data. Personally, I have the same thing, and I see many people together with me. We all love to see how much we spent and how we can be more efficient in our buying pattern. You see the same with companies. We have a demo on that one later by Hendrik too. And for all of these, we need a solution. We need a solution that analyzes the data, that visualizes the data, but we also need a solution, a platform that gives customers and partners access to look at those data insights. And I think Hendrik will have an overview on what can be used for that.
Yeah, the platform, of course, is Salesforce. Ta-da. Yeah, but the biggest problem, and like Hans said, is that, yeah, okay, we have data. All companies have data at the moment, but how are we going to expose this data to the outer world, to our clients, customers, partners, and so on? And they think, okay, if we want to build our own website, for example, it will cost a lot of time. It's very expensive. It's not sustainable. So the good thing is that we have solutions for that. First of all, we have Experience Cloud. It's basically, yeah, a portal where all the capabilities of Salesforce are also present. So you're able to expose all your data in a safe environment, and you can also manage the authorizations in one place. But the cool thing is also that once you're able to give your customers an extra space which is personalized, you can also retarget them and make these personalized journeys because you have another touch point. And that's also really what Salesforce vision is all about. At the customer 360, the more touch points you have with your clients, your partners, prospects, the more you know them, and the more you know them, the better you will serve them. Now, what is also very cool is the fact that we have Commerce Cloud, and I'm saying this because we're using it in the demo, but this is also the same environment, the same portal, where customers, after having these data insights and having these personalized marketing messages, will also be able to buy services and products from you, meaning an extra stream of revenue is very much possible. And to top it all off, underneath the hood is of course Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, but anyway, typical Salesforce capabilities as well as their flows, process automation, anything that you have at the moment from Sales Cloud, you're able to leverage and expose towards your clients. So you have one centralized space to have all your customer interactions, which really helps scale with growth. And now it's time, of course, to make it more tangible. And because you don't have to believe us, we also have some beautiful customer stories, which Hans will explain gladly.
Yeah, and I'm going to tackle only one. We have quite a lot, and please, we have our contact details at the end. Also, contact me for the others. There is one, it's also on our website, also on the Salesforce website, and that's Ocado. Why did I choose Ocado and not any of the other ones? Ocado is combining all different strategies that you can tackle with data monetization in one business case, and yeah, hence that fits here. What do? They combine creation of a new revenue stream, improving operational efficiency, and enhancing supplier relationship, all in one business case. Now, what is Ocado? Ocado is a online grocery store. They are based in the UK and they are expanding fast. I think they're one of the biggest or the biggest at this point in the UK and expanding over, well, they will come to Europe for sure. They have one of the largest and most comprehensive e-commerce platforms or data sets, let's put it that way, e-commerce data sets in the market. And they knew that they were sitting on a treasure trove of data, but they needed a way to monetize it. And also, they wanted a solution to monetize this that could be set up fast. And that's where we, together with Salesforce, jumped in. So through Salesforce Analytics, we created overviews, dashboards for them. They did it themselves also. And we embedded these in their own customer platform. For Ocado, they already had a customer platform. So we embedded those in there. Why are we talking during this webinar about XP Cloud also? Salesforce XP Cloud is that customer platform if you don't have one yet. What we notice quite often actually with customers is that they have a case in mind, they have the data, they can move quickly, but it's all blocked on the fact that they don't have a customer or partner portal yet. And that is something that they want to spend some time in, creating one of those platforms. The problem is creating one of those platforms from scratch takes time because they need to be completely secure and interactive with your other devices and solutions. And that becomes cumbersome, and that's where a lot of the data monetization cases that we did earlier were blocked. Hence, Experience Cloud, out of the box, the solution that can be used. For Ocado, that was not necessary. They already had their own platform. So what happens on that platform? On that platform, they offer, at a small fee, they offer the world, actually, because anybody can log in, pay the fee, and look at the details, insights on everything that happens on that platform, on their e-commerce shop, let's put it that way. So that means literally everything. What is sold, how much of it is sold, what promotions work best, in which regions. All of that information is combined in clear insight dashboards that are offered on that platform. Now, what they do first is they ask a very, very small fee. That fee is set on purpose quite low to make sure that as many people as possible will join the platform. And at first, that was the suppliers. Their own suppliers, they jumped all on it. And every single one of their suppliers is part of or is paying to get access to that platform. But on top, we saw that a lot of also, let's say, marketing agencies and others have jumped on it, because this is data that I want. This is, well, actually the insights that they want. By now, there's more than 400 people or companies, I have to say, on that platform. And one of the cool things is also the whole thing from the first idea of we need to set something up that does this until the going live was 7 months. So that went quite fast. The cool thing is also for Ocado, that monetizing part, and I mean the direct monetizing, asking money for getting access, wasn't the real focus. Obviously, by the money that comes in, they can easily cover the costs they have for the platform, and the margin is very positive there too. But their end goal was actually to enable suppliers to get the most of the Ocado platform. So they are really doing everything possible to bind their suppliers closer to them and to make sure that as many new suppliers as possible are joining them also and selling their products through the Ocado platform. And that is working actually. 4%. So in a brief period, they reached already 4% more of sales by their suppliers. And obviously for Ocado, that's a very nice thing also. That means just a 4% up in revenue. If the suppliers are making revenue through the products that are sold on the Ocado platform, also Ocado is benefiting. So here, this is a situation where everybody wins, where data is used that wasn't used before. Well, Ocado used it internally, but in a very brief time, they created a monetizing case that brings in money and binds their partners closer to them. And that's it in brief.
So yeah, thank you, Hans. But let's now, do the fun part, right? Let's show a demo. I hope you think it's insightful. I'm sure you think it will be funny. So let's have some fun as well. So to first give you some context, the demo is really about two companies. The first one is named Salesforce. So Salesforce is a world-renowned brewery, and they have really amazing brands like Heineken and what was the other one? We will see, but really great brands. But what they also do is they try to be innovative and they want to be ahead of the competition. And they've also seen that it's possible to also sell the information that they have on their brands towards their customers. Their customers mainly are retailers, bars, your typical places where you can drink a good beer. So why is this important? Because you give actually market insights as well as competitive intelligence towards your retailers so they can make data-driven decisions. So this is all about Salesforce. Of course, we have another persona, and actually he is the real hero in the story. His name is Hans. Hans is a procurement manager for Bizstores. So they have a lot of retail stores where they sell a lot of beer. I've also heard that Hans likes to drink some kind of beer. So, and also the store we're talking about is beers and barrels. So problem is Hans is procurement manager. Bizstores has like over 100 retail stores in Belgium, and it's really hard for him to understand the market. And he really struggles in the volume that he needs to buy, but also what brands are most popular. Now, the good thing is that thanks to Salesforce and actually the data monetization and the upsell, Hans gets these insights and he will be making much more informed decisions on beer brand purchasing, but also on a very local level, which is really interesting to see. So it's how does the story look like? So Hans' journey starts, of course, with accessing the portal, where he really gets this personal experience, and he also has one place where all the data is. And that's very important for him because it really saves him a lot of time and it reduces the complexity thanks to the seamlessly integrated platform. Again, we have like 100 retail stores. If Hans has to check all these retail stores individually, he has to search through all his ERP orders and so on. It's really a cumbersome task. Now, the next thing is that we get these insightful analytics, but also predictions. AI is now a buzzword, but the good thing is that Salesforce has been doing AI for almost 10 years, thanks to Einstein. So Einstein will help Hans actually give him a detailed analysis, but he will also give him suggestions. Based on his order history, there will be predictions on what beer brands could sell the most, but also based on competitive intelligence. What are my competitors doing in the region? And this really helps him make the informed decision. Because again, what does Hans want to avoid? That he buys beer that just gathers dust. Beer is made to be drunk and not to gather dust. So the next thing is, thanks to the suggestions, we get the seamlessly ordering experience. That's also why we're talking about Commerce Cloud. So in the same environment, Hans can decide, okay, I'm taking these suggestions from Einstein and I'm going to buy the beer and I will see what will happen. So let's now dive into the demo. So the demo, how does it look like? So Hans logs in and he immediately sees, welcome to Salesforce, unleashing cloud brewed beers with optimal flavor. That's like the Salesforce mantra for the moment. And that's also why they're very good at it. So welcome, Hans. Check out how your Bizstores are performing. The first thing that I see is a suggested order. We see, based on the competition for your store beers and barrels, that Amstel Stream sells the most. Would you like to include it in your offering? So maybe, because I actually have not done any analysis. So let me take a look how it looks like. So order overview. So as you can see, it's focused on beers and barrels. I have an overview of my revenue, my last order, and the days since my last order. Again, all these data, most companies have these data and these insights. We just need to find a way to expose it in a safe environment. Of course, I have an overview of my revenue based on my order date, as well as what have I ordered in the past. For example, Amstel Stream, Hayden Cane, Seagrass, Sunray were my last orders. So that's not, to be honest, that's not something to be amazed about. It's quite standard. But what is really cool is the fact that we know what others have been ordering. So we're able to show which orders are the most, or which brands are the most famous in the region. So as you can see, Hayden Cane is #1, but that's also something we expect. It's like our main brand. But we also see Amstel Stream, Noble White, Seagrass, and so on and so on. But what I also see is the likelihood to sell as well as the predicted volume. So thanks to AI and thanks to Einstein analytics, we're able to identify which is likely to sell based on order history from Bizstores, but also from the competition. So Amstel Stream is now #1 in the region, but we see the predicted volumes as well. Cedar Mill Stanzin will sell for 737 and so on. So again, I get these insights which I didn't have in the past. From Hans' perspective, this is really very, very useful, because otherwise he had to do the analysis, and he needs to check it himself. Now, what shall I order next? That's actually the big question, because again, the suggested order we know, but I still want to know where it's coming from. So again, I have a focus on my previous order. I can, of course, easily reorder the same, but again, it's my job to make sure that we sell the best brands in our shop. Also some smart recommendations. But what I really want to focus on is actually this. What are others ordering? So I see again Hyde & Kane, Swift and Noble White, and so on and so on. And I'm really focused on the Amstel stream, right? Because the other brands I mostly already have in my store. So Amstel stream has been selling very well along the competition. So indeed, I can understand why there is a suggested order saying, please include it in your offering. So if I go on the order now, I can easily be able to go to the product information. I see the price. I get also this beautiful product description that the Amstel Stream is a unique, refreshing beer that elegantly intertwines the best of traditional brewing techniques with a distinctive modern twist. So after Hans has read this, he is immediately sold. So he wants,
Yep.
first of all, wants to taste it, and he wants to, of course, make it available in his shops. So if we add it to the cart, we can also see, of course, that we come to a typical shopping cart experience. But the great thing is also because of that, Hans is a very loyal customer and a very good customer. Salesforce is actually giving him a 10% discount on the beer. So of course, this is a very good customer experience. So I'm going to use this coupon and I'm going to buy the beer, and maybe in a month I will review and evaluate if Einstein and Salesforce are telling the truth or not. But for now, I'm a happy customer and I'm going to end the journey here. So just to summarize and say what have we seen, right? So an extra revenue stream, and that's what we've been talking about all the time. We're actually able, from an Salesforce perspective, to create an upsell, but beside also we are creating extra service, an extra increased service. People will like to work with us because we give them these insights. They will be better in their job thanks to these kind of insights. So in the end, Salesforce will be able to increase their market share, and they will also go fast to the market. Again, this experience cloud, it's something, if you already are on Salesforce, you can just expose it. You can actually start very fast with it. It's a drag and drop environment, typically low code, no code. And it really helps in achieving the goal of monetizing your data, knowing that we all have a lot of data sitting there. It's also a tailor-made customer portal, meaning we know that Hans is logging in. We get, again, extra information from the portal. What has Hans been doing in the portal? Is he interested in certain things? And we can, of course, target him with certain marketing campaigns. For example, the coupon is a good example because it shows he's loyal, he likes it, he will have a good feeling, and he will buy more and always think about our brands. So what we also have seen is, of course, on the homepage, the CRM analytics dashboard, which is also, again, tailor-made to our customer. And we're really leveraging CRM data, but also external data. External data, why? Because in this case, most of the time, order information is coming from an ERP system. And we see with our clients, of course, that they are using external partners for that. But again, it's no issue for our analytics. We can combine the best of both worlds. But the second thing, and that's actually the more powerful thing, I think, because to be honest, data visualization is not that difficult anymore. There's a lot of competition. But what is really interesting is the fact that we get these actionable insights that we can leverage on Einstein AI and really give decision-made, data-driven decisions towards our customers. And to top it off, we have the seamless integration towards Commerce Cloud, but also towards the whole Customer 360 suite, meaning Experience Cloud, Marketing Cloud, CRM Analytics, Commerce Cloud, actually all these kind of solutions, they're all connected, meaning you do not need to integrate or do very hard implementations to make sure that everything is working together. It's all in the same database, it's all in the same environment. So voila. That's a bit the end of the story, and I hope the value is makes sense. And I think we are now going to more questions, I believe.
If you flip to the next one, indeed. So in general, if there are any, so there is one question we will go deeper into. If there are other questions and you don't want to ask them here, or you have remarks or anything else, please find us. These are our email addresses. Find us on LinkedIn, what have you. So we can tackle this. We had one question, Hendrik, and it says, how does authentication and licensing work for individual community users? It asked, community users can see a dashboard or an insight based on their community license, but the question is, does it also require an individual CRMA license?
Yes, there is an individual CRMA license for communities, which you need to expose the data.
The good thing here is, so that license, we saw that also with existing customers, is most of the time, it's depending on what your strategy is, but most our customers, that most companies use a fee, just as, for example, Ocado does, to cover those costs. Not all of them do it, to be quite fair. There are companies who just say, okay, that fee that we have to pay for the CRMA license, says we keep it for us, and we look at it as an extra service because we then get extra money for our customers in different ways, customers or partners. But it is indeed an extra license per user. And it's also interesting because it helps also for the authentication. So everybody, that's why we also had the Experience Cloud here as one of the important platforms. So you don't have to rebuild that whole authentication model, that security model around your monetization case. It's a good question, actually.
Yeah, indeed, everything is managed. Also, users, it's in the same user interface that you understand, that you know. It's simply your users in Salesforce in the backend, which really helps. Yeah, making sure that all the authorizations are fine and that you only expose the data that you, of course, want to be exposed
to. Yep, cool. Once again, our contact details are here. If there's anything else, please let us know. This recording will also be put on YouTube and the different channels we have. Then there's nothing more than me to thank you for attending. We hope to see you soon at one of your next data monetization cases or at one of our next webinars. Thanks a lot and have a very nice day. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.